Welcome to today's video. Today we're focusing on solving systems of inequalities graphically. Again, we're going to show that mastery in class by scoring at least a 7 out of 10 on an exit ticket. Now, hopefully you have the notes in front of you that I gave you in class. If you don't, I suggest taking out another sheet of paper. It is going to be a little harder for you to do it without them, but it's not impossible. Now, a system of linear equalities consists of at least two linear inequalities within the same variable. Our solution, unlike an equation where there was a set point, is an ordered pair that fits each inequality. And there can be more than one when there is a system of linear inequalities, where an equation only has one solution. Now, our steps. Step 1, graph each inequality, shading all your possible solutions. Please be careful, and this is why we spend an extra day in class. Please make sure you're careful of the solid lines and the dotted lines. Please make sure you plot as many points on the line as you can, and make sure you shade the entire region that it fits. Step 2, you're going to graph the second one, and then you're going to find the intersection of the shaded area. The darker shaded area, and I'm going to use two different colors to denote it, is going to be where your solutions are. Now, if we look at number 1, first we have y is greater than 2x minus 3. Well, I'm going to start by plotting. I'm going to start at -3 as my intercept, and I'm going to go +2 to the right 1, +2 to the right 1, and I'm going to continue this pattern for as many times as I can. And I'm also going to go down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1. Now, because it is just greater than, it is a dashed line. Now, for our shading, since y is greater than, we want to shade the area that is greater than my intercept. Now, if you used a highlighter, that's fine. If you used your pencil, that's fine. For our second equation, and actually let me highlight this so that we remember that this is the one in yellow. For our second equation, we want to use different colors. That way we can tell where they intersect. So my second equation, we're going to say y is less than or equal to -1/2 x plus 2. Well, I have +2, and I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2, down 1 to the right 2. And I'm going to continue that pattern. I'm also going to go up 1 to the left 2. Now, in this case, it is a solid line. Now, for our shading, again, I'm going to pick a different color. Since it is less than or equal to, we are going to shade below it. And if you notice, when I do this shading, I now have 3 different sets of colors on my coordinate plane. In this case, my solution is where they intersect. So for this graph, my solution is going to be this left-hand red color. Now, if you use pen and highlighter instead of 2 different color highlighters, it's going to be where the pen and the highlighter are on top of each other. If we look at example 2, again, we're going to start by graphing them. So y is greater than or equal to -5x minus 2. I'm going to start at my y-intercept of -2, and I'm going to go down 5 to the right 1. Well, I can't go any farther, so I'm going to go up 5 to the right 1, and up 5 to the right 1. Now it is a solid line, so as best as I can, I'm going to draw that straight. Now we're going to use our highlighter, and since it's y is greater than or equal to, I'm going above my y-axis, or my y-intercept, excuse me, and we're going to color it all in. So now, for our second equation, we have x is less than or equal to 2. Well, x, if it's an x equation, it is a vertical line, so x at 2, and it's a solid line. Looks like my board's off, so we're going to do the best we can here. X, and there's my line. Well, it's telling me that x is less than +2. So I'm going to shade everything less than +2. And if we look once again, our solution area is going to be where they overlap. So in this case, the red color again. You can use highlighter, you can use 2 different colored pencils, which is what I'll have for you in class tomorrow. We'll also have highlighters. Just please make sure you're using 2 different colors. On your SOL, you will have a pencil and you will have a highlighter. They're 2 different colors. Make sure you use them so that you can figure out where your solutions fall. Now, for example 3, our first inequality is in standard form. So, we know we can't graph standard form. We have to turn this into slope-intercept. I'm going to subtract x on both sides, and I get negative 8y is greater than negative x minus 64. From here, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. Well, that tells me I'm dividing by a negative number. I need to flip my sign. So, my final inequality is going to be y is less than 1 over 8x plus 8. Well, I'm going to graph it. I'm going to start at my intercept of positive 8, and I'm going to go down 1 to the right 8. Okay, can't go any farther and can't go up. So now, and please make sure you pay attention, unlike I just did. It is a dashed line, so make sure that line is there. Now, it is y is less than or equal to, or less than. So it's going to be everything below my intercept, which is just about the whole graph. And that's okay. If it fills the whole graph, it fills the whole graph. It just depends how you graph it. So that is my first equation. Now, for my second equation, I have y is less than 4x. Well, that tells me my intercept is 0, 0. I'm going to go up 4 to the right 1, up 4 to the right 1, down 4 to the left 1, down 4 to the left 1. It is a dashed line, so we're going to dash it. Now, from here, we need to decide. Well, it says y is less than 4x, so my solution becomes everything that is less than it. Now, in this case, if we look at our solution, there's actually no yellow highlighter on our graph. That's okay. They're going to overlap, and sometimes they're going to overlap each other fully. The important thing to keep in mind is wherever they do overlap, that is your solution area. Now, our last one, both of them are in standard form. Well, I'm going to start with the first one, and I'm going to subtract x on both sides. So I'm going to get y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 3. So I'm going to go positive 3, and then I'm going to plot. And this is the not so great side of the board, so hopefully we can get this working properly. And it's going to be a straight line. Well, from here, it says y is greater than, so we're going to shade above it. For our second problem, it's in standard form. So again, I'm going to subtract x, and I have y is less than or equal to negative x minus 4. Oh, and I forgot to denote what my highlighter meant, which was my first equation. So now, negative 4, and I'm going to do negative x still, which is, hopefully you're plotting these more on the coordinate points than I am. And it's going to be my solid line. Now in this case, it says y is less than negative 4, so I'm going to plot everything below it. Well, if I look, I actually don't have any spots that intersect each other. Since I have, and I again forgot to highlight the problem, if I look, I have purple and I have yellow. I don't have that red color. So in this case, with these two inequalities, there is no solution to that system. There is never a spot that they overlap with each other. Hopefully this video explains stuff, and make sure that you bring these notes to class tomorrow. When you get to class, we're going to spend the day plotting and graphing systems of inequalities and finding solutions to those systems of inequalities. Make sure you bring your notes, and I look forward to seeing you then.